What's good, boys? Today I'm going to do a bit of a different video. Instead of my typical psychology type video, I'm going to break down how I journal my trades, how I journal my psychology, and how I record my data. So first of all, many of you need to get Notion if you haven't gotten already. It's a great tool to record data and different things like that for traders. So get Notion, set up a calendar. For your trading journal, for your paper accounts, for your evals, fundeds, whatever, right? You need to collect the data on a day-by-day basis, all right? And this is how I set it up, right? So first of all, I'm going to state, it says green every single day, but you see days with losses, right? And this is something that I've learned from this guy on YouTube. His name is Justin Rollin. He talks about going through your trading journal and always setting your days as a win or a loss through your psychology, through you following your habits, or it's following your plan, not your habits, right? Instead of actual P&L, instead of the actual trade itself, you need to record the day green or red, bad or good, based on your psychology and if you followed your rules or not. Because if you followed your rules and you had good psychology that day, that is a green day, that is a positive day. You did what you're supposed to do, right? So this is what you see right now. You see green days. This is last month. I had a few red days, as well as it's crazy, but as well as you don't see these red markers as well, because that is a psychological thing. You attach bad things being connected to red, it will fuck you up. Especially if you have your chart colors as red, that will fuck you up as well. If you have bearish candles as red, green candles as green, or bullish candles as green, it will fuck you up. All right, this is I think they've done studies on that exact thing, and it shows that it will make you more emotional as a trader, especially if you're losing in a short, or especially if you're losing in a long, right? It just starts dumping. All right, so kind of with that out of the way, I click on it, and I would recommend setting up each one of these, maybe even more. You can set up risk to reward, different things like that. I think this is all I really need, just to record the majority of the data for my trade that I take that day. So how my account how the account total after the trade that I took, the P&L, how much I won or how much I lost, day of week, right? And then the date, emotions. And for the emotions, in your psychology levels, I would recommend when you're in your journal, journaling how you felt that day, how you were doing during that trade, you always need to be positive with yourself. This is a mistake that many people make, especially when they first start. They in their notes, they write it down, they type it out. Like, I'm stupid. Why did I take this trade? I'm so dumb, right? You can't be doing that, right? Because you're reinforcing negativity, right, into your trades. You need to be, like, you can see it right here, perfect example. I literally do this every single day, win or loss. I'm constantly trying to be positive in my notes, because then it reinforces in your mind positivity, right? And as you can see right here, it literally says, hell yeah, motherfucker. Like, I did win that day, but typically, like, even when I lose, dude, like, let me go to an example of a losing day. Pretty emotional, but not visibly. Price just chopped a lot, didn't act off of any emotion today, so good job, right? I end off with a positive note, even though I did lose $400 that day, right? You need to be positive in your note-taking, in your journaling. Because if not, you're going to reinforce bad habits, reinforce bad thoughts, and it's only going to represent itself back into your trading. All right, so let's go back to this example of yesterday. All right, so not emotional, a bit off guard though. My laptop died before class while I was sitting in the lobby. All right, I was waiting for class to start. I got there about 30 minutes early so I can trade the news embargo lift at 9:30, and pulled up my laptop, and it was at 2%, so it died. Had to pull up my phone and start trading on my phone, which I usually don't do, and it sucked because I couldn't see all the different time frames and everything. If you want to see that video, I took the little clips of it. That's in the Twitter, so free shameless plug. So it'll be in the description if y'all want to see that. That was yesterday's trade. And then it says, I already knew my bias, but I still had to whip out the phone and trade on the small screen. It sucked a lot, but I made it work well. All right, again, trying to end that negativity of, damn, I had a trade on my phone. That sucks. It sucked a lot, but I made it work well. Right, ending with positivity. Right, and then I also record long or short. which market I trade. Many of you might trade all the indices, you know, that you might pick which ones are the best for that day and you trade that one. I only trade NASDAQ. I really never take minis. I just have it there just in case. But I have micro contracts and normal mini contracts right there. And then my mistakes, right? Mistakes is a big part. You want to have the main parts of these is your mistakes and your emotions, because those are the things that you'll be able to look back on, you know, months from now, weeks from now, and see what problems you're having, what repetitive problems you're having in your trading, what you need to, you know, upgrade, what you need to fix, right, to continue progressing through your trading, right? And right here I said, I mean, this is completely trading unrelated, right? It says prepare for class and trade with, prepared for class trading with a charged laptop, right? And then make sure you are trading on the right account, because I entered on the wrong account. I entered on a paper account because I was on my phone, I wasn't used to it, and I accidentally entered, you know, my first trade off of the paper account. Luckily, I got back in. It was a little bit of a late entry, but I still took the dub. Then you need news right here. And with mistakes, you need to be as real as possible, right? Try not to hide any mistakes that you made. If you made a big mistake or you made a small mistake and you acknowledge that, you need to write it down, because these things it's data, right? You are going to look back on it, and if it's a constant problem, you're going to realize it in your data that you took, in your journals that you've written out. So I've also written, you know, news down. That's also a big thing, you know, with your not win rate, but typically, you know, like bad days are no news days, right? And over time, as a new trader, I learned that, you know, days with no news are typically not the best for me, but I've adjusted over time and learned through my data that I haven't been that bad lately, especially when you record the time as well. Because, you know, I've learned something, and it's where, this is some sauce right here, when there is no high impact news for the day, and, you know, news embargo lift comes out, typically for the first 30 minutes of news embargo lift, if there is medium impact or no news at all, that will be the sweet spot for the day, for the entire day, where there will be a good trade, if there is any at all. Typically after 10 o'clock on those news days, goes to shit, right? So that is something, a little gem for y'all. So that is something I realized in my trading as well, through journaling, through taking this data, and realizing over time that, you know, these specific time periods, it's not that bad, right? And then I like to record target size as well. I like to record how many handles I targeted. And then through here, I like to keep it really clean and simple. Go through each time frame, what I was looking for, and what ended up happening, right? What my thoughts were. Equilibrium of yesterday's range ran into and bounced off of, not staying inside of the range, which is a good thing. SMT at London low in 15. Bullish PDRA being respected, and smooth highs above, jagged lows below, right? So recording each time frame typically. And as you can see right here, I typically only look at the 15 minute and the 1 minute. So the 1 minute right here, my execution, trying to keep it as simple as possible. You know, my main things that I was looking at in the trade, as simple as possible, right? Writing everything down that I possibly could. Any of the thoughts I was having during, you know, the trade, I write it down typically. Expected a solid trade to form within the first 20 to 30 minutes of the embargo lift due to no high impact news. I knew that price would go to shit quickly after 10. Good job. Again, reinforcing positivity. All right. And then lower before that, it says note. Here we have just small little notes, right? You need to take these small little notes. Note here that we have smooth lows below my entry. Why do I not care about these smooth lows? That's supposed to be a question mark. Because the high time frame order flow is bullish, plus we formed low time frame and high time frame SMT. So I ignored these equal lows because of that. All right, so writing these little things down, they go a long way, right? And, you know, I would say every 2 months or so, you need to do a deep analysis. And this is what helped me, right? Because I ended up writing it on my background right here. So it's a constant, oh shit, if I can fucking move it. Bro. Okay, whatever. Right, so these are my main issues that I realized after going through about a week ago through all my trades in the past 2 months. You know, what I was struggling with the most, and it was these three things. Every single time I wake up in the morning, I see this, and it reminds me, you know, be patient, exit on time, and trade in good conditions, because those are my main three problems, right? I wasn't being patient. I would enter off shitty trades that, you know, might have been against my high time frame bias, and I would lose, right? Do that. I would not exit on time. I would, be 10 points away from take profit. I would get emotional, and I would get scared that, price would end up reversing on me, even though I was 10 points away from take profit. So I exited early, missed out on $100, $200, right? Did that many times as well. And then I often failed to trade in good conditions, right? I would trade in bad conditions. I would realize it, and I would still take a trade because I had to click that button, right? So those are the main 3 problems I realized that I had when trading. And through all this, collecting all this data, you look at the picture right here. This was not too long ago. This is about a month ago, right? And then now I look at it a month later, and I look at trade that I took. I took this trade that I should have taken, probably wouldn't have after looking at how bad price action was. So learning from my mistakes is a big thing. And then right here, wrote the execution date down, the date that I took the trade, and then the reanalysis of the date that I looked back after it, right? And checked and see what I was doing wrong, right? And then each of the notes I've written down what exactly I did wrong, what was my mistakes. And after I did all of that, I also wrote it down in my notebook as well. Let me pull that shit out. And I wrote down literally everything that I was doing wrong. Yep, right there. So I don't know if y'all can see that really well. Shit. Say all that. And then my main problems were, I wrote them all down right there, and I did like a checklist of each of my main problems I had that were occurring the most. And that helped me out an insane amount, because I realized that I'm not being patient, I'm not exiting on time, and I'm trading in bad trading conditions, right? So those are the 3 things I've fixed lately, I've been working on, and it's helped my trading out a lot. So that is the journaling portion of the video. That is how I journal my trades, including the technicals and the psychology part. So let's get to show y'all how I record my actual data and what things I do to continue practicing hours and hours a day and have enough data to continue, right? So typically I do not backtest. Backtesting is something that, it's very difficult for some people, and it's difficult for me. A lot of people, they have a lot of ease trading, backtesting and shit. They have like a high win rate, but when they come in the markets, typically they might not do very well. It's kind of flip-flop, right? It's either like that, or someone's really good at trading a live market, but they're terrible at backtesting. And I'm that way. I'm pretty good at trading the live market, but I'm horrendous. Like I have like a 50% win rate with my model on backtesting on like FX replay and stuff. And what I've realized, that shit fucks with my mental a lot. Like, right, I'll be on there, I'll start taking like winning days over and over again. I'm like, okay, this is working pretty well. And then, I start losing. And the second I start losing, it fucks my mental. And then that day I start worrying about my model and see if it even works. But I know it works, right? It's the same simple shit every single day. Same model, it always works. All right, it's just how I execute that every single day may change the, outcome of it, right? And so I don't backtest at all. What I do is I look at past data, right? So let me pull up TradingView right here and just show you what I do. I don't use TradingView, but I use TopStepX. But pretty much all I do is I just scroll back, all right? I literally just scroll back. I go on the 1 minute, I just scroll fucking back, and I go to a daily open at 9:30, and then I look how price is moving on the high time frame in the 1 minute as well, and then see where my setup would be, and then take pictures of that, collect data. That's all I do. I don't backtest all that shit, because there's so many factors in backtesting that you are completely like negating, right? News, you got like time that you spend on a specific thing. Like, dude, when I wake up in the morning to trade, I wake up at 7 o'clock, and I'll go make breakfast, come back, and at 7:30, 8 o'clock, I start looking at the charts, and I start like setting up my my buys for the day, for the time being, right, and anticipating what's going to happen, right? So I have it's 2 hours until 9:30. From 7:30 to 9:30, that's 2 hours to come up with a specific plan. And if that happens, then this happens, right? When you're backtesting, you're 3 minutes, you made a bias, less than that, and then you take a trade off of that. You don't have time to really think. You don't have time to really analyze and see what's happening. You're not really, when you're backtesting, you're not really including the weekly bias. You're not including any of that stuff. Weekly outlook. You're not including any of that. So there's a lot of factors in backtesting that are not included, which That's the reason why I don't do it, because it fucks with my mental when I lose trades and backtesting. So first, what I do is I record, and this has been a thing for a long time now. I made a whole new Notion. So the old data was all deleted. Like all my notes when I first started trading, they were all deleted. I think it was like in an old TeamSpace, and I deleted it, or my friends deleted it when we were in it. And so all of my old notes sadly are gone. I do got a little bit of them right here, but I'm talking about like when I first started trading. So I've been doing daily IFEGs ever since I started IFEGs about 6-7 months ago. And I would literally just do 2 a day, right? As you can see right here, I did a lot. But my requirement is 2, test samples, 2 back test samples a day. All right, and these are just, again, me scrolling back through the time, me going and looking at yesterday's trades, possible trades, and showing you, what happened. And all I do is wait. That was the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning, every single day. I wake up and I take 2 samples of these, right? 15-minute time frame. This is an example of yesterday. 15-minute, 1 minute, the trade I would have taken. 15-minute, 1 minute trade I would have taken, right? Simple things like that. And over time, you'll get a lot of samples. You'll gain a lot of, it's so simple. 10 minutes of your time to look at these trades and find a trade. Oh, shit, my thing's fucked. It takes no time to do that, right? It takes no time at all. So that's why I like to do that, as well as, it builds confidence in yourself that your shit works, because you see it every single day over and over and over again. Data journal, I just started doing this as of August 14th, and simply what I do, I'll go to this one. I literally, like while I live trade, I put my Notion on the second monitor, and I record my data and what I see and what I think is going to happen, and then after that happens, I record it down literally right after it happens. And like little small things, like very, very small things, intricate things, starting from 7 o'clock. I start trading at typically 7 o'clock every day, and 7 to 7:30. And like little things, like relative equal highs right here. We ran up in versus fair value gap, then retraced into the consequent encouragement of this fair value gap, and then continued running higher. Right? Simple shit like that. 3 candles from the consequent encouragement, we ran higher. Simple shit like that. I promise you, it builds trust in your model. It builds trust in the way that you read price. The second I began doing this shit, and you're going super, super deep into intricate, time frames, and looking at like how price is reacting to different levels, it started to change the way that I was looking at price completely. Right? And some trades as well that I was taking. Nice tape read long I took, like just random shit, right? Go to this for example. The 15 time frame formed an M15 breaker, and we are currently respecting the M15 SIBI. I'm expecting lower prices, no SMT with ES at highs or lows, but we have SMT with YM at prior week high. Possible reason we may go lower, right? Want to see price form SMT within the 15-minute SIBI to confirm that we are going lower. Want to see buy side taken, we are engineering liquidity, right? So just simple shit like this. You build enough data over time, you'll begin to, know what happens to price every single day, right? You see the same shit over and over again. If you continue to record small little intricate details, and this is what this exact journal is for right here, the daily data journal. It's exactly what it's for. It's just for small intricate shit, right? Just a bunch of random shit right here, right? Like all these little different PD arrays, like reading how price respected it, the mean threshold of it, how long it took to retrace back up into it, and how violent of a reaction we had to the downside after retrading into a SIBI or order block. Shit like that, guys. It helps a lot, right? Trust me, it helps a lot. And then the next thing I do is analysis, right? I just do a simple and quick analysis each and every single day. I've done this for a little while. And I just try to keep it as simple as clean as I can. And just write, what I was expecting going into the day, simply on the high time frame, what happened, why it happened, and maybe a setup or two that I saw that happened that day. All right. So just simple shit like that. Daily time frame, like the draw was my weekly SIBI. And just like a little clean little fractal right here that I was taking, little depictions and shit like that. So that's real nice. You do that. I do that every single day at around 7 o'clock at night. After I go and eat and work out, I come home and do my analysis, journal, typically. So backtest data sets. These are some like that I go more in depth with, especially like the graphics and shit, and really just explaining it. Try to keep these kind of short and simple, to be honest, just for review. And again, these back test ones, these are me just going back in time, scrolling back through, TradingView and just looking at old chart data, right? Fractal data, these are just specific fractals that looked very clean. For example, where's that unicorn? It's a clean ass unicorn one day. This share right here, yeah. Just a super simple fractal, right? 15-minute time frame, we had a SIBI holding, bodies closing inside, right? Smooth lows below, market opened right here. We engineered sell side because we faked and we failed to run this low. SMT at the highs, right? 15-minute breaker, line with fair value gap. Trade into it after dumping, retraced, continue lower to data low, smooth lows. Simple shit like that, right? And again, that's nice to review as well. Narrative, this is when, my high time frame bias is bullish or bearish based on SMT or manipulation in the market. And, something happened. We took buy side or sell side, major buy side or sell side, and my narrative changed. My bias changed completely. And this is where I like to collect my data on, changing my bias, because we're not always going to be right going into the market, right? This is something I struggled with when I first started, is I would be super set on being bullish or bearish for the day, right? When I made my mind up of being bearish, I literally married that bias, right? And TGR kind of fucked me with that shit. He said, like, stick with your bias. He was kind of using the wrong way, the way he was saying it. We kind of get what he was saying, to like trust your bias. But he was saying, like, in like the first videos of the boot camp, he was like, marry your bias. So I took that shit literally, and I wouldn't change my bias throughout the day. Like, I would still take shorts even if we're fucking pumping, right after the main move of the day, pumping. So like realizing where I was wrong, where I anticipated price to manipulate over time, it's helped me understand where price is going to manipulate and where price is going to distribute, right? Simply as that. Because just as simple as this, for an example, I probably have plenty of examples. I don't feel like pulling it up though. We have bearish SMT right here at London, at 9 o'clock, right? This pushes us lower, and what do we do from here? We fucking sweep sell side and we continue higher. Just simple shit like that, right? Just changing narrative, changing where price is going based on liquidity and SMT. And then I got data right here. This is some of my old data that I was recording a couple months ago during the summer. Just a bunch of random shit. And then Forex and commodities, just started doing this, and just recording like other markets, so I can just get more data on how price is moving, how I'm understanding price, and shit like that. Not trading my model, not looking at my model on the low time frame. I'm on the 4-hour, but using this more for number one, more time on the charts, so I'm understanding price a little better, as well as more data, as well as understanding where my bias is, like how well I can find my bias, right? So let us show before and after picture of these. Yeah. And then the last thing for data that I recommend you all, and I seriously recommend it to you all, is take videos, right? Take videos each and every single day. Download OBS right now on your laptop, on your computer, whatever, and take live videos of you trading each and every single day. And at the end of every single day, and at the end of every single weekend as well, review those hour-long trades. Put it on 2x speed and review how price is moving, reacting to different levels, and look at how you are reacting to that specific situation, right? This can help you with your psychology, especially because if you start to force trades, if you start to do this and that, you start to chase price, you will realize it quickly when you start to take videos of it happening and you realize, oh shit, if I can cut this out right here, that is another barrier for me to go through for me to force a trade, right? I'm forcing trades because of this happening every single time, right? It's, again, seeing repetitive data that exposes your issues that you have in your trading. So recommend taking videos, live videos of you trading. That helped me out a ton about a month ago, 2 months ago, when I first started doing that. And just consistently review this data, guys. That's all I can preach, bro. Is continue to. I'm starting a lot of this video. Continue to study this data. Continue to work on your model. Don't really recommend back testing, but many of you may. You can if you want to. But yeah, just continue to review each and every single day. Don't become complacent. Right? Continue to review. Don't think that you've figured it all out. You figured everything out with your model, because we never will. All of us will never figure out everything out about a model. We'll never consistently win. Right? So, hope you all enjoyed today's video. If y'all want to join in my Discord that I made, it's called Creed. We got a bunch of the homies in there. We have pretty much daily calls in there, so it's pretty chill. And I'm doing free one-on-ones in there as well. So if y'all would like to join up in there, we'll be glad to have y'all there. And, be your best self today so you can be a better man tomorrow. Peace out, boys.